So for playing willpower cards, it sounds like what needs to happen is a player will say, I want to play my destroy card and I want to do it on whatever. And then there will be a space on the board for them to drag the card that they played and any cards that they need to spend in order to play it. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool. We've got this emissary badge, so it sounds like whoever is elected the emissary, will they just draw that badge onto themselves? Is that something that the facilitators are going to move? Okay. Great, so that'll just be a thing that facilitators will need to tell people to do. Great. Um, so many tabs. Okay, and then it sounds like for using our like inspired ability things, Dane, you've got these 3 circles that you'll put the abilities on, and then it sounds like when players have them, we'll just drag them into the general like play area so that they're aware that that's there and an option for them to do.
Yes.
Great.
The special abilities, yeah.
Okay, and will the GM then be, it sounds like the GM will be doling that out and taking it back when the time is right.
Yes.
Great, cool. So GM will be responsible for moving around the inspiration power marker. Boop, boop, boop. Here we go. Players want to trade resources with one another. It sounds like they just drag and drop them between their own boards. Is that correct?
Yes.
Great. Great, and we talked through declaring an action. Okay, cool. Deciding an action. Um, Sending an emissary, when they want to send the emissary up to the dais, is that something that we're tracking the order of for this game, or is that something where we're just like, whatever, fuck it, we'll just go back and forth between the 2 societies?
Yeah, I think we go back and forth, and maybe we just like flip who goes first each round.
Great, cool. And sending an ambassador, how is that happening?
I had pictured that being taking the entire player card and moving it over to the other place,
And who's
and
doing that?
the facilitator should probably do that.
Great, so, and how will the facilitator know if the ambassador has been accepted? And how will we go about figuring out whether ambassadors are accepted?
It would probably involve sending that person to the channel, and then they will. I mean, I guess the players there could reject them literally by sending them back to where they came from. Um, but yeah, the facilitator should probably handle that. Like, oh, we have a guest from Jorun. Make a decision, yes, no, and then I guess the facilitator at the receiving society would grab the player's card and bring it over.
Okay,
So yeah, the receiving facilitator would handle that.
great. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing, just to rearticulate it, is if a society wants to try to send an ambassador, they make the decision internally. The ambassador will move to the appropriate channel. The facilitator there is then responsible for making sure addressing that ambassador is like the first thing that happens when they arrive.
Yeah.
They're then either rejected or accepted. If they're accepted, the facilitator for the accepting society will move the player card over to the board
Hmm.
once they've been accepted. Um, and who moves the player card back to the receiving society?
Where they went. Yeah.
Okay. So if somebody from Ari society goes to John's society, John, Ari moves it back. Okay. Okay, great. So John moves it over, Ari moves it back. It sounds like it sounds like so we're talking about a player from your society. If a player from your society goes to Ari's society, it's Ari's responsibility to move the card over if they're accepted, and it's your responsibility to move the player's card back over when they come back.
The other part, the way to do that would involve having to tell, like, Ari would have to tell you, John, we accepted this person, please move them over, and then you do it. So like that was, yeah.
Cool. Okay, great. So that's everything for the societal phase, except for one thing that we'll get to later. For the galactic phase, right, we want to announce, players are announcing actions. Um, do do we need to screen share? Do we need to do anything like that? How are actions getting announced?
It's either we all look at that society where everything is laid out, or we move the action to the galactic dais. I think it's okay to look at the society, even though because we already don't have hidden information. Um, I think it's okay for this playtest to just be like, let's everybody go take a look over at 10,000 Islands.
Should we just, is there a reason to not just screen share if we're doing it that way? If we just want everybody to look at it? I do
We
not
could we
trust
could
that. Don't
we
know that
could do it on the
everyone
screen
will.
share. Yeah, we can screen share it.
Okay, great. So I'll be screen sharing. I'll be screen sharing while players are sharing actions then.
Yeah,
Let's also say I'm going to try to do my best on this. Whoever the emissary is, I'll set them as the focus as well, alongside John or alongside Dane, if possible.
okay.
Um, great. Um, okay, and then uh, yeah. How are we rolling with advantage and disadvantage? Is that any different than just normally rolling dice? I asked if it was any different or not, and you said correct. So I don't. I don't understand. Okay, great. Okay. And if players need to roll against one another, are we just rolling twice, once for each of them, or are we asking them to roll separately on their own? Okay, great. Cool. Uh, I guess, yeah, I have questions. So what we were saying is that the willpower cards are all just going to be laid out, and players are then responsible on their own for dragging and dropping. Okay. And for the individual phase, when players are moving into one-on-one conversations, uh, how are they? It seems like we're just telling them, so they're self-organizing. How are, okay. I need to partner with somebody from my same society. How do we do that? And we're all in the same room, or we are split into two separate rooms? How do we go from that to being in the same other room together? So, uh, all three of us are on Namu together. Let's say Ari's here too. And we need to pair off and we need to make sure that we land in the same one-on-one room. How are we even? So, okay, who? Me or Dane? Wait, Ari, where's our? Wait, who's my partner? Sorry, you're my partner? Okay. Okay. Cool.
That's gonna be hard with cross
You're gonna move
chatter to
me?
just say out loud.
Can you do that? Wait, what, Dan? Hi. What's okay? So I'm here, but it says Galactic Council. Dane Sane is currently in voice. Join voice. I I know I am being a difficult player right now. This is what I want to like figure out. So this is
So
the
like I
thing that
said,
I'm
that's gonna
trying
be
to.
hard to manage
Yeah, this
with
is the thing
cross
that I'm
chatter.
trying to figure out is. Yeah. I mean, we're using Discord, so I'm just trying to figure out what is the best way for us to do this on Discord. Generally, yes, that is how it's been happening. We then also need to pull people back to the Galactic Council to give them the next set of instructions, and then they have to go out and then in and then out and then in. Let me look at which ideas. Okay, Wizard, yep. Choice with another player at your table.
Can this be something that facilitators do?
Assigning people.
Yeah. Like we can generate like here are all the people at your society and here are the one-on-ones for each for like the time within a society part of it, you know, like kind of
Yes.
round robin it.
I think to make that work, we would need to have individual phase channels that are specific to each society as well. So it would be like Darun Blue and Namu Blue, so that the two facilitators aren't sending people to the same room accidentally because they don't know where the other facilitator is sending people. Um,
I mean, if there's 15 players, you only need 8 rooms.
if there's Yeah, that's true, but there just needs to be a way to make sure that the
Yeah,
facilitators know which rooms are theirs and thus which ones are like open to sending people, so they're not accidentally overlapping.
sure. So I'm picturing just like a Google Doc or something that you can print out. That's like in round one, put these two people in the blue room, put these two people in the green room, put these two people in these 3 people in the orange room, and then Ari would have a different list. So it's like all that work is kind of done ahead of time, and it's like I'm just
Sure,
gonna move
yeah.
you.
I mean, we could just say Namu is everything from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blue to purple, and Jorun is everything from red to white.
Sure, we could do that. That helps. I like the idea of having just and like breakout rooms as its own thing that people can use when they need to in the society phase if they need it, rather than
We do have
having
those, yeah.
yeah, rather than having societal phase one-on-ones and individual phase one-on-ones, but um, just like a bunch of different one-on-one rooms. Yeah,
Okay. But still, we need the same basic thing, which is we need to know which ones belong to which societies for this
right,
moment.
right. What I'm saying, we can absolutely split it by color for society, but what I'm saying is if we have the list of players, it would just be put these players in this color, and you wouldn't be in real time deciding what room to put them in. It would just be predetermined.
That's fine. That just is work that Ari and John will need to do in advance. So I don't doesn't make a difference to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, John, is somebody facilitating? What feels easier for you? I think that's ultimately what matters. Is what's most easy for the people who are having to do the thing. No, meaning having players do it themselves. I just don't know what you mean by by people self-organizing.